So I'm an immigrant, and I just applied to become a citizen because I'm staying. I'm going to read you from my novel. This is about a girl whose father has been kidnapped, and she copes by watching the news, and this is happening in Colombia. On the television, the image of a man face down on a roof took up channel after channel. Blood pooled underneath his body on the roof tiles. Then the reporter was speaking over the images. The police are preparing to take the body to the medical center for an autopsy. I couldn't breathe, thinking, what if it was Papa? But policemen came, and when they turned the body to place it on the stretcher, I saw it wasn't Papa, it was Pablo Escobar. On the stretcher, Pablo Escobar's body hair fell long over his ears, and his face was wet with sweat. There were crowds of people on the street, waiting in a hush as the stretcher was hooked onto ropes and lowered from the roof. The policemen escorted the stretcher through the river of people, allowing the people to touch the last of Pablo Escobar, his hair, his bloodied shirt, his arms. I didn't tell Mama or my sister Cassandra that Pablo Escobar was dead. We each hid in separate corners in the house, dealing with our own horror. Watching the television is how I dealt with my grief. Seeing the unfolding event of Pablo Escobar's death, experts gave their opinions, witnesses gave their statements, and the president congratulated the police snipers who had shot Pablo Escobar, decorating them with medals, speaking to a crowd. Colombia's worst nightmare has been slayed. In Medellin, people were in mourning. There was live footage in the cemetery, rivers of people chanting, Pablo, Pablo, Pablo. They pressed against each other, and the pallbearers carrying the silver casket, trying to run their fingers on the wood to capture the last of Pablo Escobar. The 1,000 mourners called together, Se vive, se siente, Escobar está presente. Then the camera showed the scene from above. The casket was being lowered. Many hands held onto the casket. Someone flipped open the lid, and for a moment, the news camera caught Pablo Escobar's face. Red roses framed that pale face. His eyebrows played themselves at rest over his swollen eyes, and a thick beard grew out of his chin. He died fat, another man. Then the silver casket clicked shut, and the casket was lowered. A tractor dumped a mountain of fresh dirt over it. It was dark when the taxi arrived to take us to the airport. I cried incessantly. I rocked, sure that Papa would show up at the last hour, the last minute, the last second. Now he would be lost to us forever. It was raining. We were on the highway, and the rain streaked our windows. From the taxi, I saw Pablo Escobar waiting at a streetlight in a trench coat stained black by rain. I jolted up and pressed my hand to the window. Pablo Escobar stared at me, frozen. Then I saw Pablo Escobar holding a wet newspaper at a different corner. I saw him crossing himself in front of a church, saw him struggling with an umbrella that had turned inside out, saw him running with his chin tucked close to his chest and a book under his arm, rain falling all over the city. I remembered Cassandra said that when Pablo Escobar found out someone had betrayed him, he sliced the person's throat and pulled the tongue out and left it hanging out the slit. I got the pressing desire to touch my tongue then, squeeze it in between my fingers. I wondered what not having a tongue would be like. You would probably forget you didn't have a tongue and would try to move the red, lean muscle, but there would be nothing to move, just the empty, dark hall of your mouth. You would be alone with your thoughts. At the airport, I puked in the bathroom. When we boarded the airplane, it was night, and my chest congested with tears. The air lengthened in long, stretchy strings inside me. I couldn't breathe. There were terms for what we had become: refugees, destitute. I clicked my seatbelt on, and from the airplane window, I saw the bright, blinking lights of the city. From the airplane window, when the clouds cleared, I saw how red and blue fireworks exploded throughout Bogota. They opened like glittering umbrellas over the dark. People were celebrating Pablo Escobar's death. Beneath the clouds, far below, was our deserted house with the furniture long gone and the ghost imprints they left still on the carpet and the television left on. Beneath the clouds, far below, were Papa's 2 fingers traveling in the mail, proof of his capture and imprisonment by the guerrillas. Papa's fingers would be left at our doorstep in a cardboard box, waiting, nobody there to receive their homecoming. Thank you.